Hello and welcome! My name is Jessica Gem, and in today's video, I'm putting myself in the Dr. Stone universe. Let's get cracking! Okay, so I am a completely obnoxious human being who, every time I slightly like a show, I'd imagine who I would be if I was part of that world. Even though I don't often make myself the quote-unquote main character, I obviously end up being crazily special for a random character. I won't go into too much detail to bore you, just a general overview of the ideas I came up with. Also, minor spoilers for Dr. Stone Season 1. Following my typical ways, when I watched Dr. Stone a few weeks ago, I instantly remembered and built upon the story that I started to make for myself when I watched the first season a couple of years ago, and I decided to draw myself in the style of the show. I did my best to think of what would make sense for me to create to wear, the problems and characteristics I would have, etc. The loose story I came up with is this. I was visiting Japan for a bit, which I genuinely want to do, when all of this went down. I was frozen like everyone else, and stayed that way as Senku and Tsukasa started to build their teams. One day when some of Tsukasa's men were heading off through the forest to revive someone, one of them tripped and fell, spilling a jar of the revival fluid. They thought it was wasted, but then they noticed that it had cracked against a stone hand, just barely visible from under the bushes. Obviously my revival had to be an accident, since they definitely wouldn't choose a random short female foreigner to bring back. The rock shell cracked up the arm and out of view, and then I wake up. Luckily I'm in a bush, so they give me some of the clothes that they brought, and I'm taken back to their camp. Now, I can only speak a tiny bit of Japanese, so there's a very distinct communication barrier right off the bat. I also need glasses IRL. My vision is actually so bad that I can't function very well without them, so not great for the survival situation that we're in. Not great to have the fuzzy sickness. Because of these, I wouldn't be particularly good at hunting, gathering, or even crafting, but I always try to be helpful even when I'm struggling, so I do my best, but get into some fun and/or dramatic shenanigans from these shortcomings. One day, I go to help Yuzuriha with the clothing and discover her putting statues back together, and reveal that whenever I could, I've been doing the same thing. I would also have been stockpiling any unbroken statues that I found, in hopes that Tsukasa and his men wouldn't find them. I join her on her special mission, and she teaches me some Japanese while I work so that I can better communicate. While working on those things, I continue to do my best to support the group. Because even if I don't agree with their ideals, they are humans who need care and attention too. One of the best things I can do is help others, so my skills in that area are certainly put to the test. I haven't watched the second season yet, this is actually reminding me to do that, but I'm also looking forward to whatever stories my mind creates in that adventure. Thank you so much for watching! I hope you didn't cringe too much. If you enjoyed this video, please grant me a like, and if you'd like to see some more of my art, subscribe to join me. That's all for now, so farewell, and have a wonderful day!